here. Welcome to my channel, Shanna Makes It. Today I'm off video because I'm still wearing my workout outfit and my hair's in a ponytail and it's falling out, and I don't think anybody needs to see that. So today I'm going to work on a mug rug on my channel and show you how I make those. I think I showed those on my craft room video. I showed you some of those, and so I thought that I would just make one today on the camera and kind of show you how I do it. I've got just a silicone mat here because I'm going to be working with a glue gun. I've got my Stanley GR20 glue gun. It's obviously seen better days. I probably need to get me a cute little pink or mint green fancy little glue gun, but I don't have it. I'm using what I've got. And then I buy these coasters off of Amazon. This is a 4-inch coaster that's 1/8 of an inch thick. And I just buy them in bulk off of Amazon and use them. So I'll just use one of those tonight. And then along with that, I use this macrame cord that I get off of Amazon as well. I like to buy this size. It seems to be the most cost effective. I like the thickness. It's 3 millimeter in thickness. I really like that, to use that. And I use the big one for my natural cord. I think I mentioned on my channel that I do make them in different colors. Typically the colored ones I get in a small spool, but the natural I get in this large spool. So that's what I use. I also use, I'm going to use just a little ruler to find the center of my coaster, and then I use a metal comb to comb out my mug rug once I get it made. So if you just follow along, I'll show you how I do that. So we'll just get started. I'm going to lay the stack of these aside and just grab one. And I don't think either side matters. You can pick whatever side you want, but I just lay that down. And then I use my ruler to map out the center of it. I like to have an idea of where the center of my, I cannot find my pen. Oh, there it is. Okay. We'll go with this. Okay. So I like to find the center to kind of get as close as I can to the center. It helps if you have your center so that you can start in the center and have a pretty close one. So it looks like I'm going to be right, my center is going to be right about here. I've got a pencil there, so not the top, not that top one, but that right there. So then what I do is I just take my macrame cord that I have, put a little tiny dot of glue there to get started. And then I grab my macrame and put it right in the center of that. Try to make sure I get it right there in the center where I made that mark. And then just loop it around into a circle. And I want to get this one real tight so that there's not a hole. There's not a large hole in the center of my mug rug or coaster. And then what I do is I just take my glue gun and just go very lightly all the way around there. Try not to get too carried away with my glue because I don't want to make a mess. Pull any glue away, and then just circle around and then just pat it down as you go. And then just add a little bit more glue each time. I actually do each row just so that I make sure that I get a good stick, because I don't want them to lift up or fall apart. I'd hate for that to happen. So I just go around here very carefully, and I try to be very careful to keep the glue at the bottom underneath so that it doesn't get up on my macrame cord, because if it does, you'll be able to see it. So clean it up as you go. Try to keep it good and clean, and then just push it flat and then follow along there, and then you just keep going. So just keep gluing and laying it down, gluing and laying it down. And you can actually go all the way around there. Your glue won't dry that quickly, but try to just, and sometimes I can get 2 rows out of a rung of glue. I see a little bit of glue there, so I'm just going to wipe that off because I don't want that to be on there. And then just try to go around. Like I said, sometimes if your glue spans out enough, you can go around twice. So, and I would recommend that you use some of the Dollar Tree finger protectors for the glue gun. When I started doing this, I didn't even know they made those. I keep burning myself on the side of that. I didn't even know they made those, and I made just a ton of these. But I think my fingers are calloused now from doing that, so I don't necessarily need to use that. But anyway, so press that down. It's laying down real nice and flat. Just trying to get a good angle with the camera. I did get a new tripod. The one I had was just not working at all. I tried it. It was an inexpensive one that I picked up locally, and it just wasn't working at all. So I bought a little bit better one. So hopefully this is a little better angle than what I had before. And I'm just going to keep rolling and cleaning up the glue as I go. You'll have some strings there, so I'm just going to clean them up and then just keep going. So I'll just keep moving. I think I've probably shown you enough of this. You don't need to watch all of it. So I'll pause the camera. I'll get it toward the end, and then I'll start it back up and show you how I do my end. I do my end a little bit different than others, so I'll just pause and finish it up, and then I'll come back. Okay, so I'm back. I went clear to the edge. Now this is where I do it a little bit differently than others that I've seen. I've watched videos of people make these before, and usually they'll just cut it here and glue that down. But that's not how I do it. I like it to be one piece. So basically I'll loop this around to make sure I have enough to go all the way around the edge again, and I'll add some excess before I cut it. So I'll take and cut it there. And then what I'll do is that's where I will do my fringes. So basically how I do my fringes, I used to use this ruler, and I would cut them, I think, to 5 inches every single piece, and it took like an eternity. And then I got smarter. So I have this is a Tech Wrap scraper squeegee, and I just will take it and just wrap it around there several times and then just cut it off. And it's about a 3-inch, I'm going off the camera there because I'm trying to get some more cord, macrame cord, but it's about a 3-inch, so it gives me about a 6-inch cord, which is just about right. So I just wrap it around there, and then I'll just take my scissors, slide it behind there, and then just cut it apart. And then that'll give me my fringe in the right length that I need. So basically what I'll do there is I'm going to actually shut my hot glue gun off for a minute so it doesn't drip all over my silicone pad and I don't burn myself. So I'll lay it out of the way. And then basically what I'm going to do is I will begin building my fringe. And I'll show you several of them, and then I'll go off camera and finish, because it's probably not something you want to sit here and watch me do 40 pieces or however many it is. So basically I'm just over and then through. Over and then through. And I try to line them up in half. So you see I'm putting the halves together. That just kind of helps keep them straight. They will not all be straight, and you will find that when you go to cut them. And we're going to give it a haircut anyway, so it won't matter. So just over and through. And then when I do like multicolored ones, I'll show you one right here, like a multicolor. I might do 2 and 3, 2 and 3, 2 and 3, or 3 and 3, just depending on how. This one, because I did 2 and 3, I wanted a little bit more of the natural than the black. So that's how I do it. But this one's going to be all natural macrame cord. So I'm just going to just do all of this. And I'll go all the way around, and then I'll hop back on and show you how I glue it down and then what the next steps are. Okay, I've got several of them on there, and I thought I would go ahead and hop back on and let you watch me finish it up and then kind of tell you this is real life, and I'll share with you. This is my second attempt at making this video. I already made one of these mug rugs, and it was just comical. I thought I couldn't find my silicone mat, and so I thought, well, I'll just lay down a piece of paper and do it. And so I'm moving along. I think I'm doing a pretty good job. And this is obviously, I'm very new to YouTube, so I'm learning, and it's kind of hysterical. But so I'm working, away. I've got a nice little piece of pink paper so that you can see my mug rug easily on the camera sitting on top of the pink paper. And then I get my mug rug glued to the paper, and I have to rip it off. So that was the first thing that happened, which I was cracking up. Then I was going to show you how to cut these, and I cut them this way so that I get 6 inches. Well, when I did it, I cut them that way, so I had 8 inches. So I had these great big long things that I had to cut off, which was hilarious. And then I got choked up and started choking and coughing and hacking, and I was like, oh my goodness, I got to turn this off. And then at some point when I was doing this, I bumped the camera and I was just talking away, showing all kinds of things, and you couldn't see anything. So I thought, okay, I need to scrap this and just start over. So I should have made like a blooper video. I think that probably might have been more entertaining than anything, but it was hilarious. But you got to start somewhere, and this is where I'm starting. So, and it's real life, so I'll just be real. It's, you know, you got to learn and as you go and figure out what works and what doesn't work, and try to make the best of it and see if you can't put something out there that would be interesting to someone. So anywho, that's kind of how my videoing started for the day. But I wanted to get something out there, so I thought, well, you know, if at first you don't succeed, try again. So as I'm getting closer, I'm just continuing to push these together as I go, because I want a good tight fit when I go around there. And I'm constantly kind of making sure that I'm lined it up with the edge of that. That way I know how far I have to go. It looks like I probably need maybe 4 or 5 more, and I hope I have enough cut. Now when I'm bulk making these, I'll cut all of these fringes at one time. I mean, I'll just do hundreds of them, and I'll just, you know, sit and watch TV and cut them. I don't really watch that much TV, but I'll sit there and just cut them and then just throw them in a Ziploc baggie so that I have just hundreds of them, and that way they're ready to go. And because I use, you know, like a template, I, you know, get the same size, so it'll be about the same for every one of the mug rugs that I make, but it doesn't matter because you're going to cut them down anyway. But I'll do that first, and then I'll do the, it looks like I need to add a little glue there before I do it, set it down. And then I'll do this part separately, and I'll have a whole bunch of those with their little tail hanging off of them. I'll lay those aside, and then I'll come back and do this part, and then glue them, then hot glue them down. Is kind of how I do it. It just kind of, it's like a production flow or whatever. So that's how I do it. So I'm going to put this one on, and this may be my last one. I'll pull it tight and see, hopefully. Yeah, it looks like that's going to be my last one. So I think I saw a little raising over here. So I'm going to, I must have not done a good job of gluing that. So I'm going to lift that up and glue it down and then lay it back down. Hopefully my glue gun's hot. I shut it off, so I'm going to have to plug it back in. But nope, yeah, we're going to have enough to do that. So I need to make sure I get that plugged back in so I can glue the rest of it down. It seems to be still hot. So, okay, so I'll just push those down flat. They just lifted. I evidently didn't get enough glue on there. So we'll just lay this down. I'm going to kind of flatten them down so they'll all lay in the right direction. I try to make sure they all stay in the same direction. And then I'm just going to run a bead of glue right along here. And I don't go all the way. I just go so far. Get rid of all the strings and the glue that's laying there. Get off my fingers. And then just kind of holding it into place. And I push it in as tight as I can get it. And try to clean off any stray glue that's on there, because you don't want that showing through on the top of your mug rug. And then just kind of push everything down. And then just keep going. I didn't leave myself much edge, but I can work with that. I usually try to leave myself a little bit more edge than that. But I'm just going to push it down. Tuck it in. Wipe away any glue that's there. Just push down on it. Hopefully you can see that. I got to get my hands out of the way. So my trim is kind of turned, so I'm just flattening it back down. And then just another bead of glue, and then just lining it up and pushing it down. Try and keep it tight. Wipe away any glue that seeps out. And then just keep going. Get yourself plenty of glue. And just keep going. And then I'm just going to push it in tight. Wipe away any glue. Get it off of there. And then, now I'm going to, this piece that I was stringing them on right here, that I'm going to give it a little dab of glue. And push it down, and it'll actually be one of my strands. And then what I'll do is I'll just cut it at the same length of my strands. So that's what you do. And then once you've got it all glued down, I'm going to clean off some of the glue that's on there and everything. let it dry a bit, and then we're gonna comb its hair. So, and for that, I use this metal comb. This comb was in a dog grooming kit. I used to groom my dog. He recently passed away, but I used to groom him at home, and that's where I got this metal brush. So you'll see that some of them are longer than others. That's okay, because we're going to give it a haircut. But the next step in it is just combing it out. And I find that if you start from the bottom, it'll comb out better. If you start from the top, you'll probably just have a knot. So start there at the end and then work your way toward the base of your coaster. And just comb away. Just work a little bit at a time. Takes a little bit of time, but just keep combing it out. And that'll give you your fringe on your mug rug. I'm not going to make you watch me comb this all out because it will take a little bit of time, and I think you probably get the gist of it. You just start at the end, and when you start at the end, it just kind of loosens up the cord. So I'm going to go ahead and shut the camera off. I'll finish this up, and then we'll come back for the haircut. Okay, I've got all my fringe combed out. You can see that even though I, measured them and tried to make them all the same, that, you're going to have a haircut here. So I just get it all combed out real nice and neat, try to get it good and flat, and then just comb it out. Normally what I'll do is cut it over a trash can is what I normally do. I try to find like a low spot, wherever the low spot is, and then try to match that. So I'll just go around and just try to cut to the shortest point. It's not going to be exact, and it's not supposed to be exact. I mean, it's boho. It's very natural and earthy, and so it doesn't have to be exact. But normally I'll stand over a trash can and do it. And then if I need to, I'll just kind of comb out as I need to see where I'm at. And I know some people like them longer than others. Some people like them shorter. But this is generally about the size that I make. I have made some smaller ones, and I'll show you that in a minute. But generally this is about the length that I make. And then you'll have to kind of step back and comb it out again and see how it looks, and then probably cut some more. So kind of clean up my workspace, lay it down. Oh, that doesn't look too bad. I see a few spots that I need to clean. Let me throw that away. So like here, I've got some fringe that's hanging down here. Might be holding that up too high. I'm fairly new to YouTubing, as I said, so I'm trying to get in the groove, but this looks a little long here. It might be, I might want to cut that off, but you can just cut it to however you like it, how perfect you like it, or whatever. So that's basically how I make it. And that's what I call mug rug. I've got some glue on the back I'll need to clean up, but I like to have the cork base just to set on the table, and then that's how it looks. And then just kind of comb it out. One of the things, when I do ship it, I usually put a little card in there that says I don't travel well. Gently comb me out, because I'm always afraid when they get there they'll be all tangled up and they'll think, oh, this looks awful. But I generally put a card in there that says to comb it. Okay, so that's what my mug rug looks like. I think it's a pretty simple process. It comes out pretty clean. I've had some good feedback on them. Like I said, I've got a little store nearby that's selling them for me, and I've sold some to others through Facebook and different things. But I think I showed you, I referenced the black and the white one. And this is like a two-tone where I did 3 of the natural and 3 of the black just to have a different color in there. And then I've got some colored ones. Here's like a hot pink. I don't know, everybody has their own color scheme in that, but here's a hot pink one, just to kind of give you a feel for that. I also made a purple one. I was working with my niece. I think she was 8 or 9 at the time, and she always wants to know what I've got going on my craft table. And so she came over and she wanted to make purple ones, so we made some purple ones. And then I just kind of let her design some different ones and actually help make them. She's quite crafty. We did a purple and white one. Here's the shorter fringe that I referenced. I'm gonna pull this stuff away so you can actually see it. I think it looks kind of neat. It's really full because it's so tight. But I think, you know, that's kind of different too if you like that style, a little bit shorter. So you can make them however you want. And then I get the natural and this great big one. The colored ones I typically get in the smaller. They're not quite as large. This is a gray. I really like this color in a mug rug as well. I don't have one made right now to show you. And then I also found this navy blue, and it's 3mm as well. I think the gray was also 3mm. Sometimes they come a little bit smaller than that, but that's typically what I buy. And then here's the one I made with the million bloopers in it. But so I've got a couple of them made, and you can see the fringe is a little bit longer because I had turned this the wrong way, and so I didn't cut away as much. But you can make the fringe as long as you want it. Another thing that I have done, which is basically the same concept, I'm going to move this out of the way along with this, is I've made like a wall plaque, which is exactly the same concept as what you just saw me do. But I've changed I wanted to have the different colors, so you can see I've changed the coloring in there. And then I did the, looks like 3 gray, 3 black, and 3 white is how I did it. And the first one I made, I was just goofing off. I took a paper plate and did it. And then I thought, gosh, I need some kind of a round that I could do this with. And I went to Hobby Lobby and I asked the guy that worked there, I said, you know, do you have cardboard rounds? And he said, no, we don't. And I thought, surely they have something. So I was looking, and I know this is kind of big. I was looking, and I went into the cake making area, and they actually have these rounds that are exactly the right size. So that's what I've put on the back of that. And I just very, you know, basically put some glue and glued a string on there because they're real lightweight. And I knew I was making it for myself anyway. And so that's what I did. But so you can do a lot of different things with that same pattern. So I thought I would show that to you as well. So I hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, I didn't want to be on camera today because I'm kind of a hot mess, but I wanted to bring a video to you, so I thought I would just put this together. So I hope you have a great day. If you like this, I would appreciate you clicking like and subscribing to my channel. I'm very new to this, and I know that I need to get some subscribers and I need to get some likes, and to keep me moving in the right direction and to keep me motivated to continuing making videos and sharing stuff. It's a lot of fun, and I hope that maybe I can share some things that will be interesting to all of you. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.